invitation from Jesse.
No, I had to look down and make sure my boxers were on.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just got out of the shower, so sometimes you just forget and you just kind of walk around.
That happens. Guess what? This is the 29th episode of the CrunchCast. We're still here. Can you believe that?
Oh my god!
You can go to Crunch. Yeah. You
We're
can
only 4 episodes away from the 33rd.
Yeah. You can always go to crunchstudios.com to find all the episodes, links to the YouTube playlist, Vimeo, videos, MP3 downloads. It's all there. Subscribe on YouTube, and then got Twitters. We got all kinds of motherfuckers here tonight. Can you believe this shit? Okay, I got me. I'm usually here because I run the thing. I'm Chris Holden. Nice to meet you. I make video games. Across from me is Bryan McConnell. We're both here in Denver, and Bryan McConnell also makes video games.
Yep.
But, wow. On the Google Plus today, we've got everybody. And you guys are all in Austin right now, right? Is that true?
Yep.
Okay.
Watching for tornadoes.
So we got 3 guys from Austin. We've got, of course, John Jones, everybody's favorite.
Hey, buddy.
We've got resident metalhead and returning character artist, Pat Morrison. Or do you prefer Patrick?
Sir?
What do you like?
Or is he the returning metalhead?
Or do you like Dr. Huge Dong? I forgot. What did you prefer?
It's Professor Huge
Oh,
Dong.
I didn't go to 4 years of huge dong medical school.
Nice.
God, that was fucking bad.
No, I like that kind of joke. But and just below him on my little windows here is Jesse Sosa, character artist extraordinaire. He just won the Mutant League Challenge over at Polycount.
Oh, nice.
Congratulations, you earned it.
And as I tweeted, he is a moderator there, so I think it's a fix. No, it's a pretty awesome entry. I kind of saw it from the start. From a technical standpoint, it was clearly above and beyond on a technical standpoint. There were some other entries I really liked.
It was clearly modular head and shoulders above the competition.
Yeah, nice. You're the best pun artist.
I have to finish that post too. I need to start taking screenshots of my shaders and stuff and explaining how I composited all that with all the channel work that I did. I noticed that someone did the same thing. Who was that? Up on Polycount in the pimping and previews. Which one was it? Let's see. I am sorry, I'm not prepared for this one.
Well, that's fun. No one's ever really prepared.
No, but we'll just stop and wait.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's all
I'll hit pause.
about me.
Well, did we ever decide what to call Patrick? What did we come up with? Do you like Pat or Patrick or Dr. Huge Dong?
Professor, dude.
Professor Huge.
This is a much more casual environment. Professor Dong will work.
It's actually a really good start to today's episode. But hey, in my own personal news, I got to drop it out. They announced the release dates for Nexuiz, which is in the house party on Xbox Live Arcade. Xbox Arcade? How do you call it? Either way, February 29th, that's our release date. This is CrunchCast episode 29, so you can't forget it. And get ready to be annoyed.
Congratulations.
Get ready to be annoyed by how much I'm going to pimp it. So I'm just letting you know. It's not yet.
Sorry, what day was that again?
The 29th of February. It's the leap year day. Isn't that weird?
Oh, that is weird.
2012 leap year. Whoa, we're all going to go to hell and become Martians.
That is the process.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is what, your first game, right?
Yeah, my first game.
Chris's first
I
ship
was
game.
What's it feel like to ship a game?
I was a junior QA.
I feel bad laughing.
Yeah. Actually, I feel bad for all the guys who this is their first game because it's only it's over the live. It's not actually going to be in a box, so it's not even real. It doesn't count.
Yeah. I can't even put it on my.
It's just like a mod.
I can't even put it on my resume.
Yeah.
It pretty much is a mod. Okay, I found a thread. It's by Snefer. I put the link up there. He did an entire
the environment. Yeah.
With a single 256 and 512 using some of the same methods that I used for my Mutant League. I was gonna compile everything and release a document going over all that stuff, and I was gonna see if he wants to help out with that as well.
That'd be
kind
cool.
of talk about his method of madness using the Unreal Engine.
Well, on our last
Sweet
episode,
Jesus
we
God.
had Ryan was on there. And then, did you hear him talk about his gradient mapping thing, or did you see his post that he made about the gradient mapping overview?
Dude, I don't listen to this show.
That's cool. Well, I mean, it made front page on Polycount. So I was just saying if you saw it.
Yeah, no.
There's a link to that if you want.
Yeah, he's been working on this cloth shader that he's been doing here. I think it's on. Is it Unreal? I believe so.
This thing Snefer did is just Jesus God. That's amazing.
Yeah. I remember seeing this thread. It's mind-bending. Environment art confuses me, and this is really impressive.
Yeah,
It's a lot of using channels. That's the big trick.
It's very channel heavy. The
Yeah.
interesting thing about it is that he's making small props and large props, like large details and stuff. He's making like microscopes and tables and stuff, but he's also making walls, like the whole floors, everything. It's pretty retarded.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
It is, and it just comes with having a shader editor that is powerful enough, like the Unreal one, or even the one that Terminal Reality uses, that actually gives you access to each individual channel node, and you can pull them out and use them individually. That's the big trick.
Wow.
That opens up like a whole new dimension of things that you could do with it.
Absolutely. I love when I'm like, oh, I'm going to start a new particle, so I'll make a new image and say maybe go to the red channel and draw something, go to the green channel, draw something, go to the blue channel, draw something, make an alpha channel, draw something, and then go into this particle editor in Unreal and before you got to make it material first, but you can pull each individual channel out and make them do different things over each other, and suddenly you've got one texture that's, it's smoke, it's fire, it's dust, it's everything. Like all your basic environment particles are just done from this one texture, just pulling channel information. It's pretty sweet.
Damn.
Makes you feel smart too.
That is pretty
It's
cool.
really nice. I'm wishing that more character artists would start using that kind of workflow. It's just, you could do just so much more.
It seems as such. I mean, you got more polygons now too, so it's not as hard. I don't know. Maybe it's easier then. But yeah, here's this section of details, and here's this nice tiling skin or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Make a character. You do it. So yeah, the threads have been bumping with questions, and we've been getting a lot of questions, but we haven't had episodes that had all the answers. So now we're going to try to get back to it. So yeah,
We're going to have to do work on this episode?
we're going to have to actually try.
God dang it.
Think about it. Apologize.
Never.
I don't know
Never.
about that.
There's one of the things we've had is a lot of questions about people asking more about VFX and just effects art and stuff like that. Now none of us are actually full-time effects artists, but I'm sure we've all dabbled in it. But I kind of wanted to wait on that because Lee has been planning on being on this show forever, and he always keeps dodging us. So eventually he's going to be on here, and he's a VFX artist, so we wanted to try to save as much of it for that episode as possible. But
He'll be able to give a pretty good info dump on that.
absolutely, he has his own. I guess it's like a podcast that Rainbows. Was it Explosions and Rainbows or Rainbows and Explosions? Yeah. He had some technical difficulties with his first episode, so we wanted to advertise it on here, and then his video was messed up. So he's like, "Oh, I can't do it. I got to fix my videos," but he got it fixed now, and I'll drop a link in the info. So
Excellent.
yeah.
Looking forward to having him on. That'll be cool.
So have you guys looked at the thread to find any actual questions we should start with, or what do
I'm
you think?
scrolling.
Scrolling. Jason seems to have the first actual row of organized questions.
Yes. The first one is, I consider each of you senior in your abilities and
Even
experience.
Bryan.
I know Bryan is newer to the industry, but you can tell that guy busts ass and cares about what he does. And I'd love to hear what key things in your professional and personal experience has helped you progress to where you are today.
All right, well, who goes first?
Well, I'll just go ahead and drop out some stuff that I like to do because it's fun. Always push yourself to do better work. Look at the person that you think is the best in the industry, and by what you think, I mean what's actually true. Because probably the person you think is really great sucks balls in the actual professional environment. Actually look at the people that really are the best. like not some fanboy guy, like the people that are like the top level dude that everybody appreciates and likes and supports their work. Like I'm just conceptually one of the first people that comes to mind is like Craig Mullins, or oh shoot, who's that? How do you say his name? Stefan Morrell. I'm gonna mess it up really bad here.
Blanking.
Okay, he's really awesome. Everybody loves him. I'll link his portfolio too. But yeah, I mean, you always have a benchmark. The benchmark that you should be shooting for. Another thing I like to do, again, is always push myself further. Either if it's, like I just now started doing this sketch a day thing, which I got to do one after the show. God damn it! But what I'm trying to do is I used to draw a lot. That was my thing. Like what got me started was just drawing, on paper and whatever. And I started doing like skins for Quake and models, and from then on I've focused so much on game art that I don't really just draw as much. So I started, just drawing with a stylus, but actually painting scenes like a landscape. So that's something I just haven't done in years. So I'm just god awful at it, but got to do it to get better at it. I'm not going to sit around here like an asshole with my thumb up my ass and write everything down. Write it all down. So like, if you're like me and you forget everything, I have to write it all down. Like I write down everything I do. So, for one, there's so much information that's going to be coming at you all the time, especially at a higher level. Every new piece of tech that you work with, every person you talk to, every little thing you need to remember. It just, it grows as you grow. Write it down because, like I said, I forget, and you're going to forget. We're all going to forget.
Yeah, that's part of the reason. That's part of the reason you have so many fucking tutorials. You write everything down.
Yeah. That was the hardest part about writing tutorials. Like actually releasing a tutorial isn't writing it. I've written down everything I've done. Like I write it pretty much my process every time I do anything. But the difficulty is organizing that into something that could be articulated in a way that regular people besides my crazy self can understand and spell checked. And, getting all the steps and all that, getting all that organized is just the hardest part.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You want to explain it in a way that a first grader can understand it, but first graders don't usually use these type of programs, so...
Oh, I don't know. These kids today...
Speak for yourself.
Wrong.
Yeah. So, how about you guys? Who's next on being the best at what you do?
Yeah. What key things in your professional and personal experience helped you progress to where you are today? Patrick.
All right. Well, I never took myself too seriously. When I graduated from school, I did not have what you would call an adequate portfolio, but I still was able to land a job doing something relatively close to what I wanted to do, which was character art, and I wound up doing character art. But I think the thing that, at least early in my career, that helped push me in the right direction was to just constantly work. I'd go to work, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., come home, have something to eat, start a model, or continue working on something that I was working on in my free time. Paint, texture better, sculpt, low poly model, whatever it was, I just constantly did it. I pretty much had no life, which is not too far from the current situation that I have going on right now. Because I still do this. Like I still come home and work on personal art as much as possible. You need breaks, obviously, but that was a big thing for me, getting my artwork up to what I felt was, the acceptable quality level that it needed to be to get the jobs that I wanted, and I eventually, made it, and that's really helped me a whole lot to sit back and look at the work that I do and give it a real critical eye. I'm not attached to anything. I'm totally open to someone telling me that the thing that I just spent the last 10 hours doing is a piece of shit and I should redo it. I really should. And that's completely okay to me, because knowing that now I've done it, I know not to do that again, and I can break it down and learn from all my mistakes. And a lot of that comes from, just in my opinion, constantly stalking people who are better than you online. So I have lists of portfolios and folders full of inspirational work from digital sculptors who make masks, who make maquettes, who make video game art, painters, the whole gamut of art that relates to my field, and I just kind of try to get as much information as possible together for reference and just to kind of keep a big inspirational vault, I suppose, that I always go back to and can jump off from. And I think constantly having stuff like that and really putting your art out there and measuring yourself up against your competition, but friendly competition and colleagues is really one of the best ways to progress as an artist and keep yourself focused on the task.
Totally agree. Peer group. I mean, just surrounding yourself with people that scare you for how much better they are than you can be a really great inspiration if you have the right kind of attitude and mindset. If you can take that feeling of like despair and hopelessness or whatever, and then turn that into sort of some sort of like, well, you know what? I'm just keep kicking ass. I'm gonna try and get there. Or even something like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna just beat the hell out of myself until something better comes out, and I'm gonna keep fucking doing it. You always want to keep reaching, keep pushing, but also keep people around you to sort of give you a sense of, what level you want to be eventually.
Yeah, I had to like during school, I had to get myself away from the people that were always like, "Oh, I'll never be as good as you," or whenever they, yeah, exactly. Whenever I heard that, and I'm not bragging or anything, but I did hear it a few times. I knew that was probably a person that I didn't want to become good friends with. And it's kind of like what John said. You're the best of the average, or you're the average of the five people that you hang out with most. Is that right, John?
That's exactly right.
So, if they were in my group, I wouldn't want to be part of that average. So,
yeah, I mean, I try to surround myself with people that all make me feel inferior as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then I try harder. Like, I feel threatened, but I'm like, you know what? I've gotten this far. Fuck it. I see something better for myself. I'm gonna keep trying and just see where I can go.
That's the only reason I'm here right now, actually.
Yeah, associations are definitely really important. I mean, someone could immediately do this the wrong way and just be a political kiss ass. Like, oh, they find out whoever the top guy they can get in with at work and just hang out with them and be their buddy. Yeah, that kind of works too, but that's being a political kiss ass as opposed to actually being we're talking about, talent promoting, skill promoting.
That's not making your, kissing ass is not making your portfolio or your work better. It's just,
in the long run, you're burning the bridges with the people that are below you, and so down the road, when you think, oh, I kissed after these people above me, well, everybody who's now moved up and I got to get back with them, they know what I'm about. They know that you're like some guy political whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
Like if all you ever do is kiss ass and your lips get chapped, do you have talent to fall back on?
Yeah.
That's a good point. I was going to say, because I kissed a lot of ass during school to help get good grades in subjects that I necessarily wasn't interested in or whatever, and I brown-nosed a lot. I mean, you're going to have to do that if you're in some sort of college and you're taking a whole bunch of courses where you're not necessarily doing what it is that you want to do for a living. But when you're working at a full-time studio, doing exactly what it is you want, that doesn't necessarily work. So,
are the alarms going off, John?
No, I think I heard someone get hit by a car.
That does happen.
A shoe hit your window.
A foot.
Nice. How do you feel about all this, Jesse Sosa, Skanker Zero?
Well, similar to Pat, one of the biggest things that helped me get to where I'm at today started back in college. It's just work ethic that I grew up with. Worked nonstop on my art. It was wake up, do art, go to class, go to work, come back, do art. While at work, do art. At school, do art. It was just do it all the time.
Doing art, you say?
Yeah, it was. That's really what helped. The other thing that helped out a lot, kind of be open to different types of art when you're looking for work, I have a whole lot of different styles that I help develop. Now, I have a house style that I call it, I guess.
A house style? I mean, like,
yeah. It's basically the style that I'm most comfortable with, and that's what I did on my Mutant Challenge, which is it's one type of style. But I can also go and texture things super realistically. I'm trying to get better at painting. That's I'm a little rusty on. I could do just a whole bunch of different styles, and I kept my mind open to that. It's helped me out a lot, especially when you're working for a studio. Say, for instance, like Terminal Reality, since they're independently owned. They get different kinds of contracts coming in left and right, and it's not always going to be one style. When I got hired there at TRI, it was to make a kids game because I had just come off of a cartoony game, and that's why I got hired, because they saw my portfolio and they saw that it was a bunch of fat penguins and pink elephants and stuff like that. And then that project got taken away, and Blood Rain 2 opened up, and they're like, "Can you do this?" And I was like, "Yes, I can." So just the fact that I have all different kinds of styles that I can fall back on, that really helped me out a lot.
You're versatile.
Yeah, and it's good to know that.
One thing I think about, I was going to just quickly interject right here. I think of a professional artist as someone that can emulate styles as well. If you're a guy that's like really, really good at one thing, that's great too. But most people that are professionals seem to be able to fall in line with the company's style. Like, it doesn't matter what the type of game is; they should generally be able to handle it,
pick up that style,
and
run with it. Yeah.
Another thing is, especially, it does apply to character artists a lot, because I guess we're just a little bit more
awesome.
I was gonna say egocentric. I don't know, but don't be afraid to do environments either. Because there comes a point where you're done with characters, and it's you still have a bunch of environment work to do, and that helped me out a lot as well, because they knew that they could count on me to finish up all my character work, and then if ever there was a lull in character work, I could easily just fall into environments and start doing environment work and do that. I mean, that just also depends on the type of projects that you work on and stuff, but that helped me out a lot as well.
Yeah. And see, something I've said a lot in the past is the thing you're hired to do is not always the thing you'll end up doing. So if you're hired as a character artist, I mean, market yourself as such, but brush up on your other skills too. Because once you're if they're looking for a character artist, they're not going to want to necessarily going to think the guy that's 50% characters, 50% environments, or is kind of all over the place is going to be the guy for the job. Just market yourself as the thing that they're looking for. Then once you're in, find natural ways to kind of organically express that and put yourself forward, and just sort of try and push outside your box a little within the limits of your job, and you'll become more useful, more of a generalist. And I really feel like that's a way to ultimately find more safety and more job security. Just kind of grow into it and just find out what you end up doing where you're useful.
I was just gonna say that also. I know how to talk to programmers too, so that helps a lot. It's not an artist versus programmer environment. It should always be people working together, and being able to talk to programmers can really help you get things done too. If you are working on a specific character and you need a very specific shader, I mean, it's good to be able to just walk into a programmer's office and just start talking shop and just be like, how can I make this work?
Nice.
You probably get along with like the animators pretty well too, with certain cases such as robots or something. I don't imagine the rigging part. You have to put a lot of your input, and it goes back and forth.
I'm not afraid like what Pat says about not being tied to any. I'm not married to any of my art. Maybe a personal project that I'm doing over here just for myself at the most, maybe, but I'm still open to anything. But when it comes to production environment, I mean, you are making art for someone else. So understanding that and being able to take a step back and look at your artwork from a very subjective point of view, where you can look at it from like what a publisher would think, that helps a lot. So that being said, when I pass my models off to the animators, I follow up with the animators all the time. I'm constantly bugging them, and I'm like, hey, how's that deforming? And if they're like, yeah, it's deforming okay, and I'm like, well, what can I do to make it better? I'll just go fix it right now. You tell me exactly what you need. I'll fix it, and then I'll send it right back to you. And that's one of the things I always do.
That's awesome.
And that's helped me out a lot.
Pretty much the way to be. You gotta,
Yeah, it's good customer service.
I have a good respect for that, Jesse, because on our characters, since they were outsourced, we and James and I, our other animator at the time, had to go in and fix the shoulders on the characters ourselves, just because it was outsourced, so we didn't want to have to resend it to them, and so it's just pretty cool having that in-house help.
Yeah,
that you're willing to do it as well. So
yeah, and when you're developing something for a client, whether it's an outsourced artist, whether it's an in-house artist, like in the case of Jesse, in a sense, your client is the animator because you're creating the product for him to work with. No matter where you are or how physically far away you are from your client, a lot of times they'll get maybe like 80 or 90% of what they need. Instead of talking to you about it, just go, fuck it, this is the best I'm going to get, and then just do that part themselves. Which is, stuff still gets done, but it's not really ideal. And something that really helps with working relationships is to actually, like Jesse said, go out of your way, try and find out how you can do things better, how you can make things easier on them. And this helps improve yourself, improve your standing on the team, and show others that you're a professional, you really care about getting shit done, you understand what's important to them, and they're going to be easier to work with because they know that they can count on you. That's so important in any kind of relationship, outsourced or not.
Yeah.
The one thing I was just quickly going to interject about is just to be careful about overdoing that, in the sense that you let your plate get too large, that you can't do your regular duties. Make sure you get your regular duties.
Duty.
When you go to the bathroom, you got to do your duties. Your basic things that you have to do for work. And then, what we're referring to here is the above and beyond that puts you on that next level to work your way up.
You still want a little bit of artistic input, basically, yeah.
The other thing that Chris touched upon is writing everything down. That leads to creating your documents, like he does all his tutorials and stuff, and that's actually very important too. That helped me get to where I was as well at TRI.
Internally. Yes.
Internally,
it's not about posting tutorials on some website or whatever. Internally, if you can document stuff for people, whew,
yeah,
you're a saint. You're a saint.
You're Captain Rockstar Hero, Professor Big Dog.
That's what I'm trying to do down at King's Owl, is basically just start writing up a bunch of documents, because I did that a lot at TRI. I'd make a lot of proposal documents for systems. It's like, oh, here's our crowd system. This is what I wanted to do. This is the way I think it should work. And I was not afraid to open up Microsoft Word and just type. That's just another
I just have a notepad on my desktop. And I'll just double click it, just go, and then just save into my documents and whatever it is. And I have like so many documents. And I'll open up my documents folder and be like, what is all this shit? And I'll just start opening them up, and each one is like a weird naming convention I came up with to call. I'll be like HMMN_9.txt. What? What does that mean? Then I open it up, and it's like, oh, okay, this kind of makes sense. I see how it was a hyphenated version or whatever. But yeah, I got so many docs. It's so useful. Somebody's gonna find these things and be like, oh, they opened up the fucking King Tut's tomb. Like, oh, my documents folder. You can turn it into a book and know how to dick around in CryEngine 3.
And the thing about documenting and kind of going out of your way to try and help design something or help kind of kick something off, when you're still doing your job and getting all that done, like Chris said, this is purely above and beyond stuff. But if you're able to bring resources to bear on something, like Jesse was saying, he wanted to develop a crowd system. This is what he was thinking about. If you're able to do that, and other people aren't really as invested in it as you are, but you give them a strong starting point for doing that, where instead of having to generate an idea from scratch, they can start from what you gave and build off from there. In my experience, more often than not, you'll get what you want, and other people will be able to react faster to it because you took the first step.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This happens a shocking amount for everything. I had one gig where there's an entire weapon system for a very large game where nobody had thought it out. The design department was just completely swamped, and I had to get all that shit outsourced, and I ended up designing the entire weapons progression and quality system for the game, and absolutely everything. I designed the entire fucking thing, then presented it to the designers who didn't have the time to do it, got their input, and generally, I basically got exactly what I wanted, because at that moment, I cared about it more than them, put more thought into it than they did. This is not a dig against them; they're busy, but right. No, I had the 3 cycles. I did that. It was easier for them to go, like, change this, change this, change this. But yeah, that's cool. Let's run with it.
The perspective on that to make it, it makes no, he's not sounding like a dick. The reality of it is when people are working on a game, especially a really large game, is it's not that things get overlooked. It's that when people are working on things, they're focusing so much on the big picture, like big picture details, that sometimes small things are just. It's like let's say you're working on a level, you're working on some art, you're making something, whatever, and there's a bug, and you know about this bug, and it's something that you need to solve, but it's something that's going to take a lot of time, and it's kind of on the back burner. And then what happens over time is you get used to seeing this bug, and then you forget about it, and you're working on whatever else. And then all of a sudden, as soon as the first person sees it, they go, hey, you know about this crap over here, right? You go, oh, snap. I totally have a plan for that, and I forgot to fix it. It's really, there's a lot of that. I remember even back on Warhammer, shockingly, I was like the only person at the company playing the game, I guess. Because I would be playing it, and I'd say, well, why is it like this? Why is it like that? And I go to my lead, and he's like, I'm just an art lead. But he would, he'd let me know who to talk to. And so basically what I'd do is I would play the game and write up these ridiculous pages long emails, and finding who to send those to specifically, and sending it to them, and sending it to their boss to make sure that it got sent. Not in like a negative way. It's like a questions thing, like there was some party we had, and I said, hey, why can't I put health potions in the hot bar so I can just press a number and then get a load of potion like when I'm playing Diablo? And the guy goes, wait a minute, you're saying that's not in the game? I'm like, yeah. Because this is the voice I'm using.
Were you role-playing the water boy?
Yes.
That's what I was about to say.
Was it the water boy? That's cool. I was just being like a drunk guy at a party. But I guess that's who Adam Sandler was. Anyway, point is, there was some really basic gameplay features that would have been noticed before launch. Obviously, once it hits like serious QA testing and stuff like that, and people go, "Hey, wait a minute, why can't I do this very basic RPG feature?" But it's you've got to be there to play that role, and if you do that, then people will recognize it, and they'll be like, "Hey, don't do it in like a nerdy, dickish way, where like come up to people like, so." I was playing the game, and I noticed that there was... And they're like, oh, really? I didn't know about that. Well, thanks about it. Yeah, so are you going to fix this feature where it is bugged in the game? You don't be like that guy.
Don't be the programmer stereotype.
Be a nice guy about it, but if you're cool in the game, and they like you from it, that's going to help you in the long run, because, again, you're jumping out of your zone and helping people in other parts of your company, outside of art or whatever you're doing. However, I have heard of some companies that actually discourage that. I'm sure that's got to be true in some places.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, honestly, it really...
The worst thing you can do is discourage inter-team mingling. The worst.
Yeah, like that. I mean, that can be taken to extreme, but sometimes the priorities on the ground are different from the priorities at the director,
absolutely,
lead, and production level.
There's
and it may
so
not
many sides.
be obvious to the people that are actually like on the ground doing the work. They may not be able to see how everything fits together. And honestly, I'd say at least some of the time, it's not worth like getting really, really upset over. It's just, honestly, it sounds so douchey and dismissive, but I've seen this from both levels. It really is sometimes just a big picture thing. Like, you don't know how a particular programmer is tasked out for the next 4 to 8 weeks. It may seem like, okay, this is his job responsibility. This is what he's supposed to be fixing. But there are other parts of the game that you don't even know about that are way more critical, and he's been hard tasked to do that and cannot divert his focus for that time because management told him to do that. So that's like a slight counterpoint to that, to at least kind of to humanize them a bit for people that have run into that kind of thing and just get really frustrated about it and don't understand it. I'm not dismissing just those feelings at all. That's just sort of devil's
No,
advocate.
yeah, I mean, that's how I started. I started that argument with the exact same thing. I was like, you can't, like, people, there's a big picture. And it's good to keep your eyes open and to be there and to always be ready to, you know, jump when you're getting to the end of the line. Hey, wait a minute, guys. We're near the end of the line, and this shit's all fucked up. If somebody's got to be there. Hopefully you've got a strong QA department. Hopefully you've got that kind of money to afford that.
Yeah.
But not everybody
that's
has
a big
it.
thing.
Not everybody has it.
What's another question?
Actually,
Oh, go ahead, Brian.
I was gonna say, even though I'm not very.
Brian's
far,
going to say, I work out.
Yeah, I work out.
Look at those muscles.
Well, it kind of fits in because what I was gonna say got me to where I'm at is not just networking, but knowing how to socialize with people. Because I was always aware that I was the not like sort of the underdog kind of thing. Like I knew that everyone was above me because I was just a novice. I was just learning. While I was in school, so I was always open-minded to what other people said, and these were most likely instructors or sometimes professionals or other students that I knew were had their good qualities or whatever. So I was always open to what they were saying, and I would handle criticism pretty well. I was I can't stress how important that is, because if someone is telling you this, it's because that's the way that their mind perceives it. They're not telling it to you to just be a complete dick to you as an artist.
Preach it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I just the best thing that's what got me the farthest is understanding that, and so I took advice from my instructors on my demo reel, on whatever it is that I was working on, and just worked really hard to meet those qualifications, and I obviously put in my own input. So that's what got me to where I am.
I'm just going to throw it out there. Like, if I ever reply to a thread that somebody posted in, and no matter, whatever I said, you can be absolutely guaranteed that it is not the first time I've said it. It could have been the dozenth time that I've given the exact same piece of advice, because I'm sure all you guys can agree it's almost the same basic things all the time.
Yep.
But the next question, oh my god,
I never actually answered.
Did you never answer the first one?
No, I was letting everybody else go.
Well, you were like mediating it so swellly.
I do it in a most swell manner. I'll be pretty brief.
Throw out what you got, because you're like the master of going. Okay, I'm just going to articulate bullet points in like a 3-minute period, which was my given time at the podium. Okay, here we go. Bam, 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 bam. Jobs.
But for once, I'll be brief. So, what key things in my professional and personal experience helped me get where I am today? Just fundamentally, it came down to when I was younger. I used to be painfully socially awkward and shy. I sucked at everything. I had a really weird shelter.
Let's be honest. The only school book you had for all of your schooling was the King James Holy Bible.
That's almost true. But I just didn't like myself or where I was, and I thought I could do better. So I promised myself 2 things. I promised myself that I will be successful. I promised myself I will never disappoint myself. So whenever I came up against something that just really beat me down or challenged me or made me feel like giving up, I just promised myself I'd never fucking let myself down, and that I'd always make myself proud of myself. So I just pushed past it, and I got in kind of almost like masochistic kind of pleasure out of doing that. Whenever something sucks or hurts, or it's like a really difficult growth experience, like learning how to make better characters, getting beat down with criticism, or just anything that was ever difficult or awkward, I just remember.
Well, it is true that a lot of guys work themselves too hard.
I've been that guy. It's gotten me to a good place. I've adjusted my attitude over the years, but those were the 2 things that kept me going. One of the things I try to do day to day when I'm feeling shitty or demotivated is just telling myself, I'm going to do one thing that makes me proud of myself today. And then whatever the fuck it is, I do it. I feel better about myself, and that's usually it. But No, that's what's really kept me going. It's kind of why I don't give up. It's not really like a pep talk or anything. It's just like, fuck it. I made a promise. I'm not going to break it. And that's been like the core driving philosophy for everything I've ever done. The next question
is kind of like a half a question, I guess. Really, right?
Well,
Do you want to read it? You want me to read it?
You can read it.
Oh, I'm totally going to read it. Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Oh my god! 2 in a row, guys.
Are you one of those workers that always puts in the extra love, time to make sure the product you're working on is much better? The funny thing is that's how it's written.
I'm Ron Burgundy?
Better? Yeah.
I kind of thought that was part of the initial question.
Yeah, well,
I
that's...
feel like we covered that
I
somewhat.
felt that was kind of covered, but in a way, I think that kind of is a little bit different in the... Like, I know guys that are 9-to-5ers.
Yeah.
Like guys that come in and do their job and go home. And it's not to take anything away from them. And again, there's so many sides to this argument. One, okay, if you're a 9-to-5er and you really do put in the love and you're able to get the job done because you're awesome and very productive at working within core hours, you stay focused on those hours and you do that work, that's one thing. If you're a guy that's coming in doing 9-to-5 and kind of half-assing it, that's a whole other thing. The best way to be is the guy that can focus his solid 8 into that day and get a bunch done. And if you can just do that, then you don't have to waste a bunch of hours crunching, and you can still focus on that quality of life. You get out and get you got 8 hours of work, then you got 8 hours of fun and 8 hours of sleep. It's 24 hours, bitches. As far as putting extra time and love into the project, I always feel like I was saying earlier, where I was talking about like actually playing the game and finding the people that need to know and writing the emails and getting the word out and going from team to team, like you said, like Jesse said, he's talking about going to programmers and finding, or going to the animators and making sure the animation's right, getting the shaders right. That's a person that's putting in the extra time instead of saying, well, look, can't get work right, and just not doing their job. You got to be careful about overdoing that.
Yeah.
And John is breathing hard into this. Dude, John broke a sweat standing up to get that beer.
Oh, fuck you! I just popped this cork. Dick.
It's all that smoking. But
I know.
Again, this is one of those things where it's totally a balance. I feel like the project that I'm on now, because it's a small team and it's just us, I feel like it's my job to promote it. That's why I promote it so much, because we've got like Machinima who's doing videos for us, and then that's it, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know who's Microsoft has been great. Crytek has been great. They're putting us on their sites. They're putting us in their booths. They're putting us on their consoles.
Yeah.
That to us is like that's the more promotion than I could ever do. I could ever be happy to do, but I still got to give out what I can. Even if I was working on a major AAA title, I would still promote it what I can. But then you kind of seem douchey, where you're like, oh, here's my AAA fucking art book. Buy it. It's like there's commercials for this during the Super Bowl. You don't need to put it on Facebook. You know what I mean? Like there's a line. Like we've got 10 people working on our game. You know what I mean? There's a very, very big difference. Anyway, if anybody wants to chime in on that, feel free.
Well, one thing I'd said in the past, I'll be super brief, but one thing I've said before is, as far as work-life balance goes, your employer hired you with the expectation that you'll perform at a certain level. And if you give so much of yourself that you can't sustain that level, you're not the person that your employer hired you to be.
Oh, yeah, you're saying about the idea of overdoing yourself, like stretching yourself too thin.
Yep.
Exactly.
And to some extent, just use a healthy human being, theoretically, have a responsibility to yourself to be able to balance out your work life and your personal life so you can give both of them healthy amounts of attention. Granted, there's crunch and that'll get compressed sometimes, but ultimately, be true to yourself and just understand the expectations your employer places on you within reason, and just try and live up to the expectations they set when you were hired.
And eat a vegetable every now and again.
Yeah, just one vegetable every 3 months. a carrot.
Yeah.
or an egg, not a vegetable. Eggs are good.
Pizza sauce.
But that's all I had for that particular thing. I've talked about it like a billion times. I was rehashing.
Oh, no, right on. Anybody want to add to that, or do you feel like we kind of answered it? I actually feel like...
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean,
Like, I feel like... Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Please, Jesse, go ahead.
No, my
No,
answer
you go
was
ahead.
yes.
Here, I'll go.
No, go ahead.
The way I kind of look at it is, there's sometimes a culture in a studio, amongst a team generally, where you'll be kind of encouraged to do a little more, or sometimes that's not expected of you. And in my experience, it's generally been the very close-knit, more productive teams that will kind of encourage each other to put a little extra love into the project if you really love it. And I've definitely worked in situations where I didn't mind doing an extra hour or two a day because the guy next to me and the guy next to me and the guy next to me were all doing that. We'd grab a bite, we'd hang out, and we'd put a little extra work in. And if your team kind of cultivates that kind of a camaraderie with a little bit of extra work and a little bit of extra love, then I could totally see that being a positive, healthy thing.
Yes.
But I do know where those things can lead if it becomes a negative situation. You know, I've been at work at 2 a.m., you know, multiple nights in a row, so that can be really shitty. But
Don't you hate it when you got a window?
Hmm?
Don't you hate it when you've got a window, and like, you know, in your office or in the building or wherever, you're at, and you see the sun come up? God damn it!
I do hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yes,
sucks.
I do. Or when you're outside having a cigarette
And the sun's
and you
coming
watch the sun start to rise.
It's like, this should be beautiful. Fuck.
I should be enjoying myself.
Yeah, it's actually like your body starts feeling that weird feeling that it gets from the rejection of sleep and rest, because all of a sudden, oh no, I'm having
cold
serotonin
feeling.
to kick in because the sun's now coming up.
My favorite is finally being done, going and starting to lock everything up and opening a door and seeing like the early birds come in. You're just like,
Yeah.
I'll be back in like 4 hours.
I had a boss that would get in at like 5:30 every morning. You remember Ralph, Pat?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ralph's one of the best people ever.
Oh, it's like Jeff, my boss at Mythic. Jeff used to put in an obscene amount of hours, and I felt awkward leaving if Jeff was still there,
Yeah.
just because he was working his ass off.
He
And you
loves-
know, like
yeah,
the
he loves his
Jeremys
work.
would be down there, and a couple other guys right around where I was sitting, and it's like, if they're still here, man, shit, I got to put some extra work in, make my thing look better. Can always look better. Can always look better.
That's the thing about it. You're making art, and sometimes art can kind of trap you in that mentality. You're like, I can make it better. And there's you know the different schools on that is, okay, one, this could be better and be awesome in my portfolio. This could be better and awesome in this game and elevate this game and possibly elevate my career in the long run because this game is better. Because someone sees the screenshot and they go, "Oh, look at that thing." That's what people do. They look at screenshots. They go,
You know,
"What?"
it's easy to fall into the. I think it's easy to fall into the. I don't know, the mindset that sometimes not every piece of art is like a hero prop.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a lot of times. You know, you do the pawns. You do the bishop and the pawn and the yard
absolutely.
trash and the seagulls and whatnot.
I made
and
seagulls.
it comes down to I've made seagulls before too.
Me too.
It's one of those things where if you're putting your extra
on,
little extra
Jesse.
time into it, it's making those little bits. It's making those little bits as best as you can to kind of challenge yourself to make up for the fact that you're making like a loincloth. And like, oh man, this is a loincloth. But you know what? It's going to be a really good looking
It's
loincloth.
gonna be the best anybody's ever seen.
Exactly.
You're gonna
That's what
see
happens
that
when you get
thick
those
bulge right
tests.
through it.
Yeah.
Just want to cover the fuck out of that dung.
Dude, back on Warhammer, I think my favorite piece was that wagon I made. It was like peasant
remember it.
wagon. Like
That was a good
very
piece.
simple piece, but it's everywhere in the fucking game. And it was one of those pieces that at the time I didn't really think anything about it. I was like, oh, this is good. It looks nice. Okay, now move on to whatever else. But in the game, that shit is placed everywhere. Because it's an
Yeah,
MMO.
the game-
if it's
the
an
game should have been
MMO, if you make it...
subtitled,
Yeah.
Warhammer Online, the peasant wagon.
Here's the thing about making an MMO. MMOs are so big that if you make anything, unless it's a specific one-time quest asset, content will place it everywhere.
That's a great way of thinking of it.
Yeah, my first experience with that, I made two suits, a male and female suit of like this dark elf armor, right when we were doing that whole major push for the elves zones, and got in for a playtest one day, and literally every other NPC in this starting area was wearing that suit of armor, and I had to go around and look at the damn thing in all its different tinted glory, and just see all the parts that I half-assed to get it done on time.
Yeah, man.
All just staring back at me. And just, man, I'm not gonna get a chance to go back and touch that up a bit because this is a little intense right now.
On that same note, man, when we did the push for the one start area for Chaos Empire, I had to do all the banners, which Tracy Hunt, who was on one of our previous episodes, He made the original Chaos banner, so I kind of based it off of that. So I actually used some of his original textures as some bases, but for most of it was all made by me.
Then took credit.
And took credit. Said, Tracy, you didn't make this, and I convinced him. I brainwashed him. I had one of those watches.
Then you locked him out.
And then I got him fired. No, no. What really happened was I did all these things, and that was one of the things actually documented. I ended up documenting how to animate the banners, like a little bit of wind. But what happened was, people were like, "Oh, these banners," because people that are into Warhammer love banners, and a lot of them were like, I had to make, I don't know, like 7 in a day or something stupid like that. A bunch of them, like all of them in a day, and some of them were just really crapped out fast. But one of those screenshots that was in some major magazine like PC Gamer or something, like the whole fucking page screenshot was just a close-up of that one banner. And then everybody cut that magazine page out and posted it like in their windows or in their office and stuff, because it was like,
the windows to the walls?
It's the windows to the walls. The sweat drops down my balls. All these bitches crawl. All CC, motherfucker. But what happened was,
Once you start, you can't stop.
I couldn't not walk around the office and see that banner that I kind of shitted out, because it was the one that I thought that was the worst. Some guy decided the media decided I'm gonna walk right up to that thing and take a screenshot of that only. But it was cool because it was my art. But it was like, oh, god damn it, I want to fix that up.
See, honestly, sometimes what people think are their most valuable pieces really aren't the ones they're necessarily most valued in a game.
Yeah, dude.
And Patrick, you said earlier that your portfolio wasn't adequate, but you got hired. They thought it was adequate. Didn't matter what you thought.
Yeah, it's true. That is true. They did hire me, and then the next company hired me too. So I've been coasting along. I've been coasting along, fooling everyone into hiring me.
Let's just segue really quick into people that hire Patrick. You want to talk about this real quick? What just happened to you? Do you want to announce it? Do you want to make it happen, or do you want to hold off? I don't care. It's up to you.
World exclusive?
World exclusive?
Sure. Why not? Because it's still surreal to me. But
basically, here's what happened.
Go right ahead.
Visceral. Is it Visceral Entertainment, or is it Visceral something else?
Visceral Games.
Games. Okay, Visceral Games. Dead Space and Dead Space 2. Wow. They basically backed a dump truck full of money up to Patrick's house after they saw his art. They were like, "You're the guy. Come in and make a game." The end. Now I don't know any of the story. I'm just making this up.
No, that's not a.
But that's pretty much true.
Patrick had to pick which company's dump truck full of money he wanted.
He had to choose. He's like, "Well, can I keep them all?" And they're like,
Sure.
No, but feel free to tell your version of the story besides mine.
You guys are making me feel awkward.
Praise is weird.
At least they're not talking about your penis, dude.
We already got that out of the way. What was it, Professor something? Professor Huge Dong. Yeah.
So, Professor Huge Dong, tell us about your new job.
Can't really tell you much about it because
obviously
top secret.
Obviously, he can't say what the project is.
Muppet Babies Online.
Muppet Babies Online.
I'm gonna have to go talk to my art director about that. I mean, we have a leak. We have a leak
All right, sorry, we're giving you so much shit. No, please go on.
But no, it's a dream job. I mean, in the situation.
Wait, is this where we mute Chris?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just filling dead air here. Go for it, Pat.
Yeah.
Go for it, Pat.
I was very, very generously offered senior character artist position at Visceral Games on an unannounced project. And
Nice.
I graciously accepted.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
You fucking earned it.
Thank you.
And Chris, let's pimp his portfolio.
Yeah.
Well, there's no point now.
this.
I'll definitely link it. I mean, at VORGEGFX on Twitter. He doesn't use it, but that's his account.
I tried to use it.
He tries to use it. He has a Facebook. Sometimes he live streams art, but obviously that's going to cut down because the guy's about to move.
Yeah, my house is
to the moon.
Yeah, to the moon.
No, I don't know. Where is Visceral
to the
again?
mothership.
Is it in
Redwood City, California.
I thought they were okay. Then you're in Austin, so yeah, you're not moving too far, but you're getting across the desert.
Yes, and some mountains too.
Mm-hmm. And that used to be what killed thousands and thousands of people during the gold rush. And
I know. I played Oregon Trail.
yeah, just imagine that. Bears everywhere. It's not like today. It wasn't a 7-Eleven.
Bears with dysentery.
It wasn't a road. You hit a big river and that was it. Everybody died. So
Not
yeah.
unless your wagon was full of grandfather clocks.
So yeah, congratulations to Pat. We wish him luck and the best in all his future endeavors.
And I'll be transmitting to the CrunchCast from the West Coast. What's up?
Yeah.
What's
Oh
that
damn
like?
it! You're adding another time zone we're gonna have to sync with.
No, it'd be way
Jerk.
easier.
It'd be early for him.
This is late for me. I should have been in bed an hour ago.
I'm old.
I'm old. I spent all day painting.
We tied an onion to our belts, as was the fashion at the time.
Alright, well, you've successfully embarrassed me. Oh,
Fair enough.
More questions.
So the
How
next
much
one.
did it embarrass you?
Yeah, how much? is
On a scale of 1 to 10.
The next one, I feel like we've kind of hit it, but we're gonna go with the reading of it anyway. Do you share your ideas with your leads, producers? Try to give them input on the project, what you're working on, personal, emotional investment in the product you're on, and so on.
Yes.
I kind of feel like we've all said yes, do this exactly in a lot of our previous answers. But if anybody wants to chime in on that in addition to what has already been said, that sounds like Jesse might have.
No.
But okay,
No.
perfect.
I answered with yes.
Perfect. The answer was yes.
Well, one thing I did want to throw out is, so I've worked on quite a few projects in varying working conditions. But the one thing that's helped keep me sane, even through like really weird situations, is fundamentally I love my craft. Back when I was like making art full time, and now working as more of an art producer and actually recently an art director, I'm invested in the projects I'm working on. I really do genuinely enjoy them. But fundamentally, I love just the process of what I do. I love what I get to learn. I love the experience I'm building. And I love just figuring out how everything works and deriving maximum enjoyment from every single thing I set my hand to, just the doing of it. I care about the end product, but the thing that helps keep me sane, even if it's not like the most exciting project in the world, or if I have some reason for not being just 100% balls to the wall, like I'm gonna I'm gonna be going to GameStop, pulling all of them off the shelf, and taking a fucking bath in like Scrooge McDuck. And even if I'm not feeling that way, I just enjoy what I do and keep my mind focused on that so much. It's really hard to get bored, and that helps me through the tough times.
Nice.
Rock and roll, bro.
Yeah, whatever helps you through the tough times, get good at.
Yeah, get good at that. Like basketball or like snooker.
Masturbation.
Yeah, masturbate. Get one of them fleshlights. Put in the code word Rogan.
Get two. Use the coupon CrunchCast.
Dude, that would be so cool. If we had some kind of sponsor like that. God, we gotta get a viewership.
Who the hell would sponsor us?
I would think maybe like Here's what I would think would start like early. It would be like some sort of school that we have no respect for.
Westwood. Hey, Art Institute or Westwood?
I don't know.
That tighten up the graphics
Well,
in level 3 school.
Yeah.
Well, Bryan went to
That's
the Art Institute, to AI in Denver, so they could throw us some bones, but you would gotta get those
AI
pockets deep.
Santa Monica.
No, that would just I've got all this, I've got everything figured out. I'm like, how much I spent on just this equipment and the hosting and stuff, and if it could pay for that, I would say your name.
Actually, yeah, the AI Denver people, the AIDs, the AIDS. We should really get
AIDS.
them in on
AIDS.
this.
Nice. I like
Oh,
that.
That is what you are.
This is going a bad direction.
Well, to steer it back on the direction, have you made any mistakes along the way that you've learned from? Could you talk about some?
No.
I have never made a single
Next question.
mistake.
Let's just say the industry is very small, and just be
Yes.
careful burning bridges. Always, if you're going to leave a company, never, start kicking shit over and say, I quit, or any of that. Just,
If the Simpsons had one of those
Wow.
best, the best way to quit a company was when Homer, like he was on the golf cart and he had Mr. Burns in like a headlock playing bongos on his head, and then on the way out on this golf cart he like kicks him out of the golf cart and says thanks for nothing and kicks him out into a bowl of barrels. And as he's rolling over the bridge out, he lights a match and throws the match behind him, which burns the wooden bridge out of the nuclear power plant. And that is a classic Simpsons sequence that, when it first aired, I thought, well, that's funny because all the funny stuff is happening. But as I've become, as an adult, and I can understand like the metaphors involved there and the burning of the bridge and whatnot, it has become so much more funny. And I suggest that sequence from that episode to anyone as a life message of how to live your life.
Just like a cartoon.
Just like a cartoon. Whatever you see a cartoon character does, you can do that and be fine and successful.
Case in point, the Roadrunner.
Any episode is of Wile E. Coyote.
But yeah, burning bridges. I mean, just very shortly, I haven't always succeeded not burning bridges, but I don't think I've ever burned any too badly. But over the years,
Sometimes
I've tried
it's
really
hard,
hard.
man.
Yeah, it can be really
Some
hard.
people
like,
you work with are freaking terrible.
yeah.
Just like
Some-
some of the worst people you'll ever meet in your life will be people you end up working with at some point.
Exactly.
Because what else
And
are you doing? You're working.
And I'm in a position now where I make hire, fire, contract, don't contract decisions on people. I've been in the situation where I'm consulted whether or not to like hire someone or have them speak at a conference. I'm in that position a hell of a lot, and I've had names of people that have burned bridges come across my desk, and that's never a situation anyone wants to be in because most of the time, no one has any idea I'm even in that kind of decision loop. It happens a lot more than you think. Just don't fuck around.
It's true, man. My first job in the industry, I'm not going to get into specifics of it because it's a rather embarrassing situation, but when you're new in this industry, keep in mind that it's extremely small and you don't know best, and neither do any of the other new guys who you work with. And
Yes.
and when the old guys who you work with decide to get into a fight with each other, stay the fuck away from it. Stay the hell away.
That's some good
Yeah.
advice.
Keep your headphones on and just say, I don't know. Just say, I don't know.
Just look the other way. Yep.
Just,
That's an excellent point.
when you're new, even when you're old, I mean, shit. But especially when you're new, because, I mean, especially if you're new to like an office environment too, office politics are nonsensical and just so much horseshit that you don't need to deal with. You just go in to work, do your job, make pretty art, and go home.
Exactly.
Or-
99% of the time. Sorry, who said that? What was happening? What happened?
What's happening? Where am I? Where am I?
My abs, they're gone. My beautiful abs.
He didn't take his alien brain today, he said.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say 99% of the time it's none of your business anyways, so just stay out of it.
Even when it is your business, even when it is, stay away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've made my share of mistakes being a new person because, everyone, makes those kind of mistakes and quickly learn from it. But, I mean, if you just look at the cast of people that we have now, an example of just how small the industry is. I mean, we've all, at some point crossed paths and have worked together and crossed paths and done all kinds of stuff. And, I'm pretty sure we will continue to do that for the rest of, as long as we're alive, we'll be crossing paths and working together and doing all kinds of stuff. This industry is very small, and
I don't know how many times I've worked with the same people.
Yeah, it's a very incestuous industry. If you go to a studio, like you go, like, I don't know, for instance, I come to King's Isle and then they send out, hey, we have a job opening, and I immediately type to my friends, and I'm saying, hey, we have a job opening.
Yup.
Who's interested? And then I'll just pass them on.
Yep.
It's because
John,
I've worked with them, I know how they are.
Crap.
And that's where burning bridges comes into play. If you start burning bridges, then you lose those opportunities. For instance, I cannot remember the individual's screen name, but there was someone that posted up stolen. He stole a portfolio to get a job at Raven, and
I've heard that.
And he was found out, and I don't want to say blacklisted, but unofficially blacklisted, because as soon as it happened on Polycount, someone made a thread, and then we jumped on IRC, and the word spread. From there it goes from one studio to another, and then everyone's on the lookout. Look out for this guy.
Yep.
He's an ass, or he's stealing, work, or whatever.
Blacklists exist.
Dude, once it's on Polycount, the whole art industry knows about it.
It's
pretty much
pretty
everybody.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like I remember hearing a story about a guy that this like really, really talented artist interviewed at a company and like dropped the N-bomb.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I think Pat does too.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and that shit gets around.
I asked him about that at a GDC once. I was like, so I heard you were on an interview about blank and you said blank.
And he's just like, yeah.
The one thing that a lot of people that are new to this industry that they don't realize is that, let's say, Polycount or game artisans, when you're posting on there, it's not just the registered users that are looking at it.
Yes.
It's not just the person that's posting that's reading your stuff. There's a lot of lurkers.
For every post you make, how many lurkers do you think there are? At least 10 per actual post, or way more, really? Well, 10 to 100.
Well, especially if you make a post that's going to say, oh, fuck this company, or fuck this guy, then you're going to get a lot of attention, and that shit's going to go viral fast.
Dude, I love it when people make dumbass posts, like in general discussion, where they say something like, blank company, bunch of idiots, just stupid. I'm like, oh, God. You'll never work there.
Yeah, and okay, what if I know someone at that company? If it amuses me enough, I'll send an IM to a guy like, hey, do you know this guy? He's like, oh yeah, the guy did this and this and this. I get the other side of the story and go like, okay, well, not only is that guy a complete fucking jackass, he made a jackass of himself publicly. If I see that name again, I'm not really going to want to talk to him, more than likely.
Yeah.
And that's not even a blacklist. It's just like, oh, that guy was a dick. I mean, dick to someone I knew that time. I mean, just. I think the most important thing to learn working in games, other than just being good at your job, is don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're told to be.
I actually had a job where I was specifically required to be a dick.
Dude, no, I
hated it.
I had a job where I was doing outsourcing, and that's what they told me. They would bring me in. They'd say, "Oh, you're doing great. Everything's fine, but just be a dick more." And I had that told to me twice at different meetings. Just be a dick more. And because I've always been just like a really nice guy, but really what it boiled down to. Oh yeah, you know me. I'm just the best. I write all these tutorials. I make these websites. I help people out.
Such a humble name like Max Power.
Mm-hmm. It's I got it from a hairdryer.
And another Simpsons
It's a
reference.
Simpsons reference, yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
No, I forgot what we were talking about because I
you're-
was enjoying that so much.
People are telling you to be a dick.
Yeah, I know that was actual advice, and then what they meant was culturally, we're so accustomed to say like, "Oh no, this is cool and that's cool," but you know, this could be better. They were just basically trying to say like culturally that doesn't work so well in outsourcing because you really just need to be direct to the point because for one, it's a professional job situation, but secondly, it's just there's a cultural gap between a certain way of explaining a thing between one culture and another. Some groups prefer to hear it more robotically. Some want to hear it more robustly. Like some people want a little bit more cushioning. It just depends on. It's about talking to people the way you're supposed that they want to hear, the way they're going to get the best results.
Yeah.
Like some people
it involves intuiting a lot and just like learning how to read a situation.
Yeah. I was going to touch on that earlier when we were talking about that, like how basic conversation skills can get you far in anything, really. I can't stand it when I send an email out to someone and it's a long email, and then there's a couple questions within the paragraph, and the only question that's answered is the very last question. It's just annoying. It's like they skimmed. It's like they pretty much just quickly skimmed the whole thing and then answered the very last question, and then that was it. I don't know. Just
a lot of that is information presentation and learning how to present something in written form, which is something which I've found is Google's asked me if I'm still here. Yes.
Yeah, it asked us earlier.
But
and we said
something
no.
Something I found, if you have multiple questions, first just open an email, say, hey, I had these questions, then bullet or number them, have them be either 3 questions or 5 questions, 1 question to a line, very quick, very short, to the point, thank them, and then have that be it. Because bulleted, when I'm giving feedback or when I'm asking someone questions, people pay more attention to numbered lists and bulleted lists because it looks like a to-do list.
Your bullet points,
Yeah.
I think Twitter is actually a benefit to communication skills because 140 characters or less.
Mm-hmm.
And if
brevity.
there really isn't anything anyone really needs to express, and what can you not say in more than 140 characters? I mean, besides somebody you love's eulogy, you want to give a few more. Well, that might make 4 tweets or something.
Yeah, I mean it's all about brevity, and Jesus, I could go on for hours about brevity.
What is that saying? Brevity is the soul of wit. Is that the one?
Yes.
Do you know who said that? Who said that?
Abraham Lincoln.
There you go.
James Brown.
James Brown. Perfect.
George Carlin.
Carrot Top.
If only he practiced that. Prop comedy is the soul of wit.
Oh my goodness! So where does that leave us? Should we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
And this is pretty much. I feel like we've kind of been here, but what do you think makes a valuable person within the industry? Who is valuable anyway? What do you go? This fucking cocksucker over here, he just fucking barely gets by and everybody hates him. Versus, so and so, he stepped up big time. He's got skills that he didn't even know he was hired to do this. But guess what? He can also do all this other shit too, just because he's awesome. What the hell is up with that?
I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but if the guy's made of gold, he's probably more valuable.
I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but tortillas are awesome.
But I think that was one of those moments where remember how Bryan won the last.
Yeah.
With that one line, I think he's he's reaching that line. He's getting to that point where he's trying to throw those big swings.
It's
he's just been throwing. He's been jabbing. He's been jabbing all episode.
The thing hoarders never think about is you never know when you're gonna die.
Yeah. So that was how he won that episode of the CrunchCast.
Showstopper.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, valuable. Back to valuable.
Those valuable people. They're made of gold. Who do you think is made of gold? How would you articulate that in the way?
Midas's daughter. Sad story.
Oh.
But no, just to become a valuable person in the industry, like my model for that, my ideal is someone that's extremely good at what they do. They work really hard. They take care of themselves enough to be able to maintain that level of hard work. They get along well with others, and they're just sort of the quiet badass. They just get shit done. They're amazing at it, but they aren't so quiet that they aren't able to express what they've done to others and communicate that clearly. Because if you do like a million amazing badass things in silence, and it's not really clear what went into that, then it's not going to be as valuable as someone that was able to communicate that meaningfully to someone else and try and enrich the people around them on the team and help kind of push that forward. Like Jesse, creating documentation for stuff like that. I see you as a super talented, quiet badass, but you're able to communicate your value meaningfully and not in a way where you're just trying to toot your own horn. Like you do it for the betterment of the team, and you're not fucking obnoxious about it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen exactly what you're talking about. Where I've known guys that I've worked with that, like if you're especially at a bigger company.
Where'd Jesse go?
Yeah, Jesse's gone.
Yeah, Jesse went quiet and seemed to have disappeared there.
Oh, you complimented him so much his head has actually the light in the room.
He floated away into the heavens.
And Jesse Sosa got his wings. Oh, hey, Jesse.
Hey, you guys remember that movie Event Horizon? That's where he is. Oh, there he is. There's Jesse.
Just drop me out.
Yeah, we lost it for
Event
a second.
Horizon. I'll show you the life of the mind.
Nice.
Oh shit, that's Barton Fink.
Either way.
Anyway.
It's like where we're going, we don't need eyes to see. You were going after.
How much? Hey Jesse, how much of what John was saying did you get? Because I think it seemed like he was directing it to you, because he was like, you're awesome, you fucking got a hot body, and your fucking hair is nice, and your dick is big.
I really don't listen to this show. I really don't.
Nice.
I was reading an article about Alcatraz, so...
That's cool.
Alcatraz?
Alcatraz.
The new show?
Is that Aquaman's
Or
jail?
the actual place?
The new show.
Ah, what a nerd.
Anyways.
I was saying nice things about you.
It's written
dick.
by the same people as Lost.
I was paying attention. You were talking about being something or other. I don't know.
Dude, I was like, I was busting out major compliments on you. Okay, everybody, I take back everything I said about Jesse. I'll apply all that to Bryan, sure.
Yes.
Bryan, yeah.
Dude, I was hoping for that.
One of the things
Bryan's night.
Okay, here's what I was talking about before Jesse came back and we had a lot of fun.
Back when we had fun, but
let's
not
make
Jesse's
it
back.
boring again. I'm gonna talk. No, I've worked at companies, especially when you're at a smaller company, you kind of know what everybody's doing for the most part. But when you're at a bigger company, you can work with people, especially on separate teams, that you don't know who all is doing everything, and all of a sudden you'll find out this guy that you didn't even know was there because he's just quietly working all the time, just dropping this guy, he made all this stuff that is amazing. It seems like that guy should be a little bit more vocal. Not in the sense, like you said, don't overdo it. Don't be annoying about it. Don't be a dick about it. But, if you're one of the top level guys, not only should you don't let people know, but the people around you should be letting people know. Your leads, other people, your leads should be telling people, yeah, this is the guy that did so and so. You should check him out, talk to him, or what. You know what I mean? That kind of information seems like it should be getting out. Within the studio, I don't know. Maybe the person doesn't like to talk to people, so they don't want that to happen. Well, then that's cool. But whatever.
It does seem like there's a lot of socially awkward people.
Yeah, that's not the hardest thing about getting people on this show. You're like, hey, you want to do the show? I can't talk.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
This totally Professor Frank out.
Yeah. Leaving.
I know how to make Patrick laugh now. Just bust out a Simpsons reference.
Hey, you can't.
I'm a fan of The Simpsons.
Oh, me too.
You ever heard that Dave Attell bit about having a prolapsed rectum?
Which one?
Okay, the Dave Attell bit goes. This is a Simpsons reference. And the only reason I'm telling you is he says he goes, I'm sitting on the toilet. And I hear the Simpsons themes come on. So I know I've got 10 seconds. So but I'm on the toilet, so I'm trying to squeeze out my poop really hard, and I end up, he gives himself a hernia, basically, from trying to shit too hard. And he goes, so I fall down on the floor, and my dog thinks we're having a fun. Yeah, that's like his bit. Yeah, that's not, properly told, or a bit verbatim, I guess is the word for it. But dude,
that's
Dave Attell is one of my favorite comedians, and when it comes to Simpsons references, he makes a few. And I apologize for breaking the show.
No, he is the man. Just I swear to God, I'll leave it alone after this. My favorite, just super short Dave Attell bit was he's talking. I think he's talking about it wasn't quite the existence of God, but I think the existence of karma. He's walking out of an adult bookstore and he gets struck by lightning. And he tells people this, and they say, "Oh, wow, did you get superpowers?" He said, "Yeah, I gained the powers to flop around the ground and shit myself. Well, use it for good or evil?" I use that a lot.
Nice. Classic.
That guy.
I love that show he had, Insomniac.
Yeah. He's dead, right?
No, he's fine. He was on a Joe Rogan Experience recently for a pretty awesome episode where they talked about a lot of old comedians. And whatnot. Hey! You guys like questions, right?
Yeah, what do we got?
That is your favorite thing. Oh, I like the way you adjusted your camera, Jesse. You know what, Jesse? Right now, you look like the minister of the Church of Satan.
Oh, really?
Anton LaVey.
Or I don't know specifically, I'm just saying just generally.
No, he does.
Anyway.
Just the general leader.
Yeah, look, you generally look like...
Satan.
The problem is, Pat is really upset about that because he wants to be...
Well, I used to purposely cut my goatee down to a point because I just wanted it to be like that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Makes you all angular and.
See, I wish I could do that, but my hair in the middle of my chin doesn't grow in very thick, so I have to do like a goatee comb over to make it look thicker.
It's a double.
I'm going through my second puberty.
It doesn't grow here either.
It took me a while.
Oh, you don't have the connections?
To get it to go here.
Yeah, it's brutal.
By the way, I just noticed to take the focus off of me. Brian's the only person on the CrunchCast that doesn't have facial hair.
I know. I'm going through my second puberty right now.
Is this the awkward phase?
Yeah,
I hope so. Because
I've been squeaking.
Explain.
Like
Sorry.
my last first date, I squeaked really bad.
Hey, baby, you want?
I was like,
do you want to come up for coffee?
I was like, I'm not even gonna bother texting you now. You don't have to worry about not having to text me back. I understand. It's okay.
Put it in the butt.
See, his voice cracked over a text. I mean, Jesus.
Wait a minute. Did you sneak a joke in there?
Well, because they say that girls in like middle school are developing faster because of. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Please, I didn't even do that, but I'm apologizing. Go on, Brian.
That's a good story, Brian.
But the reason for them developing faster, I always thought it was like some sort of hormones in the food, which is just bullshit. But that's not true. There's no hormones in any food or anything. But they're developing faster because of obesity in America. It's like they're getting fatter. In order to provide for a child, you have to have a certain amount of fat. And since I've been eating for this nutritional strategy that I'm on, I'm getting a little fatter, so I'm squeaking and getting more acne and going through my second puberty.
He's on the juice.
I'm on the juice.
He's on the gas. How's that?
Everybody hates the juice.
Where do you get your
Are middle
DECA?
school girls developing faster?
No, it's actually
Brian.
it's actually
I don't
totally
know.
natural.
I have no idea. I was just,
Females do hit puberty like a year or so before males. It's like forever. That's how humans have been. So
Yep, but now especially corn-fed.
yeah, because now they're getting all fat and diabetes.
Mm.
Hey, you want to talk about the next question yet?
Yeah, let's do that. Actually, let's all go over what puberty was like for each of us.
That'd be a whole podcast and a funny one.
Non-stop
That's actually
sex.
a pretty. That could actually be a pretty good subject, but I agree it probably will
Yeah,
run. I mean, we
that's
only have like
episode
half an
30.
hour left.
Yeah, that's
We'll
episode
have
30.
to-
Write that down.
Of the pubecast next time.
Pubecast.
Oh, hold on, let me check. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sweet.
No boxers.
So, what was the next question?
Hey, check this out. It's moved on. We're moving down.
Where do babies come from?
Where do babies come from anyway? Well, a stork.
Brian's loins.
A stork flies to heaven where God makes a baby.
In it.
And
From angels' tears.
And they bring the baby into your house.
Easy bake.
The next question comes from another user. And check this out, you guys. The CrunchCast thread on Polycount, it's over 8 pages. It has
Nice.
It has almost 200 posts. That's more posts than some other threads that have happened. So here we go. Blah, 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 blah. What do you think is a good balance between working personal art and the rest of your life for a student and for an industry professional? I used to spend 10 to 15 hours a day working on personal art, but I found negative effects for the rest of my life. Just to throw this out, I've got a guy that I've been having to want, John, not Jones, but the other one.
Yeah.
I've wanted to bring
The
him
lesser.
in for an episode called Quality of Life. Because that guy is the ultimate quality of life dude, as far as I know.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you. No, you guys don't know him. He's one of my neighbors. But no, he's in his 50s, but he still does shit all the time. Like the other weekend, he went bungee jumping and whitewater rafting and mountain biking, and then
At the
went
same
to
time.
Mexico. He did in one weekend. Then he went to Mexico the next week. He's ridiculous. He went to Mexico for 3 weeks, came back, and went fucking skiing. The dude is just constantly doing shit. He's seen a lot in his life, and he's seen. He's had some tragedies as well. And if he wants to talk about that when I eventually get him on here, possibly incognito, like a Spider-Man mask. But yeah, no, he's seen everything that could be seen of life, and he lives every freaking day, and he's somebody that's always inspired me. But as far as quality of life, man, that's one of the things I tell anybody. The first thing you got to do when you start working in games is, here's the reality. All right, you're going to be sitting at a desk for at least 8 to 12 hours a day on the normal. And probably a lot more than that. How many hours are you going to sleep? If you're sleeping good, you get 7 or 8 hours. So all the rest of that time is probably sitting at a desk, right? What is that, 16, 17 hours?
Something like that.
Sitting on
If
your
not,
ass.
You're sitting in a car commuting.
Sit on the car. You're
desk to
sitting down
desk.
here, you're being a piece of shit.
Is my low?
Oh, no, you're fine.
Okay.
Jeez, just tell me. No. But yeah, you gotta be prepared for that. I found that even in my own life, even though I was sitting at home modding all the time, because it wasn't a professional thing, it didn't hit me till I really got a job sitting at a desk that all of a sudden my body just started falling apart. It was rapid. I was like a skinny, super skinny, lanky kid. I'm a skinny guy now. People say, "Oh, you're skinny." I'm 6'4". Yeah, ladies. My dentist said 6'6". He said, "Tell girls said 6'6". I'm like, "Well, I'm not much of a liar." And he's like, "Well, fuck you." And he punched me in the mouth. Cost me a bunch of money. Anyway, point is, you're going to be sitting there, and for me, my body was immediately just turning to crap, just getting a big gut, looking like an idiot, stupid pussy. You get no muscle, but can't even lift boxes to move. Asshole. So I just started, I got into juggling, and then the guys that I was working with, a few of them put a gym in our office downstairs, and we had a little, full gym, great, started, doing the weights, and it was just anything to offset the fact that I'm sitting in a chair for, like I said, about 16, 17 hours a day.
Yeah.
Whew. What do you do, Ryan? No, I'm just kidding.
What was the question?
The question was about the balance of the quality of life, as in you're working.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you've got personal art. You've got your own life, and then as a professional. And I just wanted to throw that out first. That you got to find some balance, because a sedentary lifestyle doesn't last long.
Absolutely.
There's going to be health problems. Things are going to get bad, and you got to figure out what it is You don't have to like lift weights and get all tough. And, just figure out what you like. Find something you like that raises your heart rate. I don't mean drinking Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Shoot some hoops,
raise your
play
heart
some
rate
frisbee golf, go take a walk, go.
Was raising your blood pressure count?
No.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a good thing to kind of talk about what quality of life does mean, because that is a subjective term. To you guys, obviously, it is working out and keeping in shape. For me, it's as simple as just spending time with my friends outside of work and just having a good time. Going out and having a beer and stuff like that. It's
God, that is a huge stress reliever, man.
Yeah. One of the big things about new people is when they get into that industry, they're just so gung-ho to prove themselves that they will just work their asses off and think that that's okay. And I guess if you're young, sure, you could probably do that for a couple of years, but it burns you out. Oh, yeah. And that's when you really start realizing that it's good to go put in your hours, do a great job at work, but then also you need to stay healthy mentally as well as physically, I guess. But
your body is your temple.
Yeah, because if you're not mentally fit, then that's really gonna wear you down. But it's good to go home, relax, go out, have a beer, go sit outside in the park, go work out, go listen to music, go write, do something that's not artistic. Try doing that. Just other things. Go watch movies. Go do all that. But it's important. It's you're not slacking if you're not constantly doing art 24/7. I can understand if you're looking for something better and you're trying to pump up your portfolio, sure, but you should always still make time for yourself.
Yes, and when you make your hobby your job, understand that fact. Yeah. Find another hobby, otherwise you'll burn yourself out. Dude, absolutely. I did that so hard.
Absolutely, it's so important to find something that is not 3D modeling related when you start working in games to keep yourself sane. I look at this post, this question as like in two parts. When you're a student, I think that the last thing you should be thinking about doing is fucking around, because when I was in college, I screwed around way too much, got drunk all the time, as you do in college. But
now you're a huge superstar artist that just named his position and paycheck, and was flown in helicopters of gold. I'm just playing.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And helicopters don't even go that far. They give him 4 different gold helicopters to fly him out there.
Yeah. Different. They painted the gold. These crazy bastards.
But actually, so Jesse actually answered. I want to ask a question. Jesse already answered this. Just in terms of work-life balance. So, Patrick, Bryan, Chris, what do you guys do outside of work?
Just jerk off and sit around, make videos and upload them to YouTube. Nothing.
Okay.
I try to get away from. I just mainly get away from the coworkers. I don't hang out with my other friends, because even though my coworkers are awesome people and they are my friends and I get along with all of them really well, I can't spend my free time with them as well, because that's just.
I always like when Bryan is like, hey Bryan, what'd you do this weekend? It's like, I hung out with my buddy and we did this thing.
Yeah.
And I don't even know these people, and I'm like, that's cool. Like, Bryan knows people out of work.
That's cool.
No, I mean, it's like great, because I feel bad for guys like, hey, what'd you do all weekend? I was here. Shit, dude, come on.
Yeah, I feel bad for him too.
Look, it's fucking Colorado. You shitting me? Go outside. Look, it's beautiful. Jesus Christ. Just look at those mountains. Fuck's sake. Jesus. I just take an hour and just stare at those motherfuckers. You'll be like,
One thing that is kind of difficult for me is finding the motivation to do personal art after doing 8 hours of mandatory art.
More dinosaurs.
8 hours plus. Yeah. More dinosaurs.
Dude, we gotta get Bryan to show off his dinosaurs. Bryan did. It was like a series of sketches you did.
Yeah,
like almost like every night you were doing one.
Well, I was doing the one a day thing.
Yeah, the one a days.
I think I went about a week.
Yeah, you got at least like 5 or 6, and they're all pretty fun. They're almost like Land Before Time style dinosaurs, but I don't know, like meets Pokemon.
Yeah, meets Pokemon. I'm very
Pokemon-esque.
Yeah,
they were all pretty fucking awesome. And I was like, dude, just finish these pictures, and we'll make an RPG.
So the land before time if Nazis won.
Yeah. I think I saw that on the internet.
That was on the History Channel yesterday.
Oh God, it would be.
So
Patrick, I'm sorry, Brian, go on.
I was just gonna say, so how do you guys how do you guys find the motivation? I'm kind of speaking to Jesse because of his current win in the Polycount contest, but how do you guys find the motivation to do personal art just out of curiosity? I have my own motivation tactics that I use, but I'm just asking for the general audience. Like, what are some other things?
Well, for me, it's a little different just because I'm in a different studio than I have been for 9 years, working on a project that actually I don't mind working on. And since I'm contract, I work 8 hours and I go home. So it feels like I got 2 days in one. So for me, I don't know. I just do it. I don't really know any other way of describing it other than I can go home and you turn on that machine and it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It never stops.
I was also doing that entry was also part of the studio that I'm trying to get off the ground, so that's going to be used in some of the portfolio stuff that we're doing.
Oh ho.
Hell yeah.
Why can't I stop making art?
But actually I want to hear out what Patrick was saying before with that question being 2 parts and going from college into the professional world. Balancing, doing dumb shit in college and all that. I want to see.
Oh yeah. We never did finish that, did we? Because we got distracted by gold helicopters.
I'm
we did.
Sorry.
And rainbows and money.
Explosions and rainbows.
Plug. I was just saying, thinking out loud that I really wish that I had spent a bit less time playing games and getting wasted, and a bit more time making art. Because when I did get the job, so I can't really complain, college worked, I got a job, and I started working right during my senior year of college, actually.
Badass.
Nice.
Yeah, badass. But it didn't stop then, because I knew going into a current position, I saw all the other guys around me and how much more badass than me they were. And I realized that if I ever wanted to do the type of art that I like and work on the type of games that I really want to work on, that I was going to have to step up my game. And that transition where I really wish I had worked a lot more in college on a really strong portfolio then became working 40 to 60 hours a week and then still trying to get portfolio done. And I think that it can get really unhealthy fast if you just do art all day, come home, do art all night, go to bed, wake up, and repeat. That's kind of something I sort of struggle with even now. I've been doing this for almost 7 years now, and I still kind of struggle with sometimes I just burn myself out, doing personal art that sometimes gets finished, sometimes doesn't, and I wind up kind of resenting it, and then just veg out playing video games for a month. I think it's really important to set yourself a schedule. I've gotten into the habit of coming home every day and dedicating an hour every day to working out. So I come home, as soon as I get home from work, the first thing I do is work out, and then have dinner, and then kind of just weigh the options of what's happening. And working out helps you, recover from the fact that you were just in a chair for 8 hours.
It lets the monkey out.
And it also helps you sleep. And
it helps you sleep. Oh, good lord!
Yeah,
it really helps you sleep.
After a workout, I can sleep at any point from then. Even during the workout, after the first set. At that point, I'm like, okay, I could lay down on this bench, and that would be it for the next solid 8.
You take rest too literally.
Yeah, I take it literally. I'm going to take a rest. Wake me up in a minute.
I was doing ab planks on the floor one time, on the hardwood floor, and I just rolled over and fell asleep. And Chuck walked in. No one else was in the studio, and Chuck walked in.
After one of the really hard nights of wrestling, I came home and I hit the foam roller, which is basically this foam cylinder that you roll on. It's like a massage for your body. But I hit the foam roller and fell asleep just rolling. I was like, That's brutal workouts, bro. Hey, what do you do when you come home, Pat? What do? You do the push-ups and the squats. You do the squat. You do the squat thrusts. You do the burpees. You do the jump,
the whole thing,
jacks.
man. I actually started at just started adding in that
plyometrics.
Jump to the. It's like a box jump. I don't know what the hell they're called. It's like you jump onto the box and jump back down.
Oh yeah, box
jumps. I don't know what the hell it's called.
This is box jumps.
Yeah, I just started adding those in there, and
those are intense.
I try to do a lot of body weight exercises, a lot of high endurance type stuff, and I do a lot of jumping rope too for cardio.
Have you ever read my book?
I have read your book. I have a copy of it. It's fantastic. I do pretty much all those exercises that you wrote about in your book, and a few more that I've added in over time. So
you just helped me out.
I enjoy that.
Thank you.
This is your 8-page PDF.
We'll have the book
like
linked to the YouTube video, so you guys can download the book and check it out if you're interested in bodyweight exercise.
Yeah, I used to be really into bodyweight exercises. I was actually a moderator on a bodyweight forum, and I still am, but I haven't been there in years. They just don't give a shit about this forum. I wrote a PDF and the end.
With the question, I've been trying really hard to do like a month on, month off type thing, or get myself a real schedule, because I think it's really important for an artist who wants to grow in other facets of their career, or just get better in general. And the best way to get better is practicing. But it's also really important to keep a healthy separation between free time and free art time. So if you're working all the time at work and you're working on a personal piece, I think it's really very, very, very important that you kind of plan it out a bit, and give it a day or two a week, here and there, and don't go overboard with it. And even if it takes you like 5 fucking months to finish a piece, every 5 months you have a piece of art, that's awesome. That's more than none, and you probably didn't burn yourself out finishing it.
Nice.
I've definitely, I just finished, sort of pseudo-finished a piece of art that I haven't even posted on anywhere yet, that I've got to get around to. But it's almost taken me like 4.5, 5 months to finish it, and I stressed out about it, and I wound up hating it, taking a huge break and coming back and seeing it kind of with fresh eyes and continuing with it. I think breaks are super important, and the only way to kind of keep yourself healthy in that regard when you're working a full-time job making art and going home and making art is moderation, and just reminding yourself that you're doing it for yourself. You're doing this because it's fun and you want to improve, and when you start stressing out and going crazy over it, it stops being a productive thing to do, and it starts becoming detrimental. And whenever that happens, whenever things start becoming detrimental, you really need to stop and step back and kind of reevaluate, in my opinion.
Yeah, and if you work a full day making art, and you go home and you make art all night, if that's all you are, who are you really?
You are your art.
But I play a lot of games. Work out.
Work out.
Work out. Fuck bitches.
Work out.
I love video games.
I love video games and working out. I'm pretty one-dimensional.
Dude, we should hang out sometimes.
But
eating barbecue.
Yeah, you're gonna miss that.
I am going to really miss barbecue. I think I'll have an easier time finding like Tofu King than Rib King.
Surf and turf.
Actually, while you're out there, just look for Gratitude Cafe. It's a raw food place. I'm a fucking carnivore, but that place is really interesting. They do amazing things with food, and it's one of the best meals I've ever had.
I will write that.
Gratitude Cafe. It is awesome.
Thank you for the heads up on that one.
Absolutely.
Last time I went to the Bay Area, man, it was like I just had sushi all day, every day, for the 3 days that I was there. It's pretty much fantastic.
That's the way to go.
Watch your mercury levels.
I think I'm going back to California again this summer for Comic-Con.
The one
Nice.
thing about California is they know how to party.
Indeed they do.
Yeah.
My month in LA was fucking nuts.
I've never been to LA.
But
You're not missing out. I don't care
Unless-
what John says.
Actually,
I lived in LA for 6 years, and it.
but when I say I enjoyed my month there because I knew where to go and who to hang out with, and I was mostly in Santa Monica.
Yeah, no, it's a nice area. I mean, I spent 6 years in LA, so like, I kind of got that whole vibe, that feel that, oh crap, I'm in LA now. I'm going to school. There's art and culture and all sorts of craziness everywhere. It was amazing. But LA burned me out, man. Like, I couldn't hang. I just got over it. It was too much stuff going on at all times, and
I can see that. I would just, don't get me wrong, I would never fucking live there.
Yeah, but, I couldn't live there. I'd love to visit, and I plan on visiting on my way to San Francisco. Like, I have a bunch of old friends who still live in the area. I'm looking forward to seeing, but it wouldn't break my heart if I never worked in LA again. That's for sure.
Where's Disneyland located? Is that
Anaheim?
Anacrime.
Nice.
But that's what, like 20, 40 minutes north of LA proper?
Anaheim southeast LA, isn't it? It's in Orange County, Irvine area.
Is it?
I don't know.
Shit. Okay, all right. Damn. I lived in.
You're thinking
Irvine.
of Magic Mountain.
No, actually, I am thinking of Disneyland. Except I was in Irvine. I just never went to fucking Disneyland or LA ever. I just remembered it was somewhere north.
Right.
Did you ever go to
It would be
didn't
north
do a
of
lot when I was in Irvine. Okay. But I didn't realize it was actually Orange County. Anyway.
Interestingly enough, I get to go to Disney World in a few months because I have a buddy who's getting married in
Is that the Florida one?
Oh, that's awesome.
Disney World. Yeah, the one in Florida, in
Right on.
Disney World. So yeah, I gotta buy a ticket. I gotta buy a hotel. I gotta buy like a weekend pass. Ugh.
Stupid Disney weddings.
Fuck this wedding. No, it's gonna be awesome, dude. It's gonna be great. I haven't been
That'll
there
be
since
cool.
I was a kid.
Can go
Space
ride
Mountain just
teacups?
over and over, dude. That means I'll get there. If I get in line, and as soon as I get out of it, I get in line again, I'll get to go twice.
Wow. Oh, that's like two things for the price of the whole day's admission.
Yeah, it's like $1,000 for a weekend pass or something. I'm making that up, but geez. If
Try not to be far
Disney,
off.
if you want to sponsor the CrunchCast, you can lower my prices for this. Why would they do that?
Like, Disneyland's a great
Oh.
place to go. Give me money.
I don't want to destroy your hopes, but they wouldn't do that.
I know.
I'm almost positive.
That's what I'm talking about. Man. Who would want to do that?
And this is now the CrunchCast starring Chris
CrunchCast.
Holden.
Nobody
Hey, do you
likes
guys
us.
Do you guys want more questions, or do you have more to answer?
What's our time?
We're pushing the 1:45.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Questions.
That's about enough time for an exit.
15-minute exit?
A strategy.
15 minutes. I was gonna say half a question, but let's do
Make
a
it a
full
good
question.
one.
We could do a full question.
And there's that VFX request.
Yeah, we got VFX. VFX are coming up for sure once we get Horny Toad on here. New nickname.
Goldie 3D.
So yeah, so there's the VFX field. There's jumping between movie, TV, and games. I don't know. I don't know a fucking thing about that.
Yeah, how do you answer that question?
Nothing.
You can't get in our industry, you dirty TV artists.
Yeah. That's a mystery to me.
it's
Actually,
so different.
hey, John, remember Chad Gleason?
Yeah.
That's what he did pretty much, right?
We should bring Chad. Could Chad do this?
Maybe. I think he has the
Would
computers.
Chad, should.
I think he has the internets.
I've always called Chad as just a talker. I've always called Chad Chatterbox.
Chatterbox. That was his nickname forever. Chatterbox, like chatter.
Nice.
But no, he's a good guy. He's a guy that I knew that did. He basically did art for like commercials and television and stuff. And he wanted to do games, so he got into games and worked together at a company. And I worked together with him on 3 different games. And then he bowed out of the game industry and pretty much started. He opened his own studio to make commercial 3D graphics. And I know he's done more in games since then as well. But he's just doing his thing. He's got his own little studio. He makes his own stuff. So I guess he's doing great. I don't know.
Seems like a busy guy. I'm gonna email him.
Yeah, but he lives in Nebraska, so You know, no matter how bad the economy is doing, he's probably like rich if he has $30. You got money in the bank? Hey, why don't you buy me my meth for this week? Yeah, he's in Nebraska. What else is there?
Oh shit.
Football,
Corn.
farming,
Everybody knows about the
Corn.
And there's all sorts of different
big
things.
go big red. You get a red. I got on a green shirt.
There's
You get
a lot
a
of
red
different
shirts.
things you can make with corn.
Oh yeah, you can make plastics,
cups.
and you can make corn on the cob. You can make corn off the cob.
Fleshlights.
I don't know, but probably.
The N stands for knowledge.
We should make our own dildo.
Wait, where are you going? Where are you going with that, Brian?
Brian,
Where
Nebraska.
where are you going with that, Brian?
Nebraska Cornhuskers. The N stands.
Oh.
The N stands for knowledge.
Oh.
Actually, that dude. Actually, that
you tried.
related,
You tried.
extremely related, amusing story. So I worked at NCSoft for just over 2 years, and I never knew what the hell that stood for. So we had, whenever we had a company meeting, there were like 250, 300 people. Well, no, they had a huge layoff, probably 200 people. We had to rent out a church because it was the only venue anywhere near us that could actually hold us all. So once I got used to the burning sensation on my skin from entering the building, they would take
Hey-o.
questions after. And so after, like, here are our financials, here's this, here's that. So they take questions from people at the company, and I went up and asked once, what does NCSoft actually stand for? And the CEO of the company said, oh, wow, well, no one's ever actually asked that. I wondered a long time ago. So I asked the guys that found the company way back when what NC stood for, and they told me knowledge and creativity.
Really?
And then immediately afterward, I just into the microphone, I yell, "Ah, crap!" That was the biggest laugh I ever got for anything in my life.
Nice. I didn't know creativity started with a C.
Fucking Brian.
you're doing God's work.
Oh shit.
That was awesome.
All right.
Oh, Brian.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting exhausted, and I still got two meals to eat. I'm just gonna put them together and eat one big meal.
So we can wrap it up.
Yeah,
If you guys, unless you have anything else to add.
I'm good. I'm pretty beat too.
Jesse's been quiet for the last 4 hours.
What? Oh, I'm not.
He doesn't.
He doesn't listen to this show.
I do want to pimp this though. I just got this from Amazon today. It's Losh's.
Furry Wars.
Losh's. Losh contributed to this book. It's a The Artiste Digital Artist Masterclass, and they put out the fashion design one.
Nice.
And just came out. For those that don't know Losh, it's LOISH.net. You'll find her artwork there, and she's an amazing artist. I will probably marry her one day, I think.
The art is absolutely luscious.
Yeah, I love her artwork, and I'm excited to kind of go through that and read her stuff.
Awesome. Losh.
Also, Girl Scout cookie season, so
Beautiful art and sentiments.
I don't really have anything to promote. I've got a date tomorrow, but
Sweet.
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
bring her on the cast.
it's a second date. This is my first second date in a long time. I'm kind of
Hey, nice,
nervous.
dude.
I'm nervous. But anyways. Yeah, I'm tired.
Two super quick things I wanted to pimp. I'm doing my Austin Game Developer Beer Night again here in Austin this coming Thursday. If you're in Austin listening, search for Austin Game Dev Beer Night on Facebook, and you will find our group. And I am also, trying to find... Oh, great, that's wonderful. I can't find the link to the event at which I'm actually fucking speaking tonight.
Sweet.
Well, tonight/tomorrow. Basically, at the University of Texas in Austin, they have the largest and highest resolution screen in the world. Just this massive, like 50-foot HD display. And they're going to be demoing that in this great, big, awesome technology conference, which, from what I understand, is going to be a little bit more sort of like less gamey, more just everything else, and
kind of like academics and basically showing off crazy potential future tech. So I'm giving like a quick little 2-minute talk talking about what I think the future is going to be as far as graphics technology, gaming, and everything. But that should be a fairly cool thing. Chris, I'll send you a link to that if you could post that alongside.
Yeah. Oh, and Jesse, if you could link that one, the young ladies, the arts website that you just spoke of, just so I can. Yeah. I want to copy and paste. I don't want to think. Hey! Congrats to Pat on his new job. John, keep on moving forward with all your wonderful speeches. Jesse, keep winning everything. Bryan lifting so many heavy weights. And we'll keep making more crunchy casts.
Yay.
Yeah. So, all these guys you can follow on Twitter at all their crazy Twitter accounts. I'm trying to put all the links in the info of the YouTubes and the Vimeo accounts, so you can check it there. Yeah, CrunchStudios.com. Thanks for coming.
I love you.
Welcome to Costco. I love you.